You know I had to get in on this, man. Listen, as you guys know, they've been covering the 8th anniversary over on JP, which means that we've been getting a ton of updates. One of them being the second trailer for Fate Samurai Remnant. And there's a lot more, but we're gonna get to those later. I was just saying on the other platform, every time I see Samurai Remnant pop up, I'm just more and more impressed each time. A lot of new things to talk about. We got the reveal of some new servants, the fact that there's rogue servants, people who are returning from other series that you know about, a huge reveal, some theories. They featured some playthrough mechanics when they ran the show. It's going live, I gotta admit. We can start off with the reveals. They brought back my dog Chulainn as one of the stray servants in the war. They did confirm that there is going to be a lot of rogue summons going on, which means the scale for the war itself has to be drastically higher, right? Because why else would you need rogue servants? So it's that bad, and once we get later on into the video, you'll understand why. So you got Chulainn supposed to be in the Lancer class. Ku's Gaebulg is looking a lot more destructive than normal. That may just be an appearance thing, but I like the way that it comes off when he performs the move in those scenes. You have a brand new version of Tamamo, one of the Tamamo 9 that we've yet to dive deep on. Her name is Tamamo Arya. She comes to us more in a lily form, but listen, never judge a book by its cover, okay? I'm sure all you guys are familiar with how that went down with somebody like Khazra drop from the Sakura 5. So you better be watching her. Don't focus on her appearance. Always good to get more Tamamo. I'm really glad that they're expanding on the Tamamo 9 that they set forth in the Fate Extraverse. We've been wanting to explore more of that, and this is a perfect chance to do so. We got Arjuna looking a lot like his Extella self. You see him performing his Pashupata, and he looks really good, man. I wonder how all of these servants are going to weave together, because as far as I can see, at least just basing it off those 3, they're tying in a lot of moon servants. You know, Chulainn was a moon servant, Tamamo, Arjuna, and it is the waxing moon Grail War. Are we going to see them incorporate more things from Fate Extra? Maybe some elements referring to the moon cell itself? And when he does his Pashupata, it looks so good. The special effects, the lighting, very pronounced. I don't think people understand how much lighting plays into how good a scene can look. The colors are very vivid, and it really goes out of its way to not just be something that's generic, so to speak, because this could have very easily been, you know, just bringing back all the old favorites and it not living up to the standard. But this actually looks fire. If you guys haven't seen my YouTube short, I did discuss that they did 2 new character reveals. In the meantime, they revealed Archer, and they also revealed Assassin. Both of them look really good. I said already that Assassin really stands out to me, but I gotta say, in this trailer, I'm digging this cloth that Archer has on the right side of his body. And there's also the scene focusing on the Archer, and he's shooting chains out of the ground. I'm like, huh? Ride into the war with a bow and then start shooting chains out of the ground. Perfect. It looks like he's on a boat when he does that in the scene, and you can see that these chains have like this inferno around them. It looks really dope. I'm like, bro, he thinks he's Ghost Rider out here. Like, seriously, what is the foundation for those types of powers? When it comes to that assassin that's actually in the war, I'm sure you guys remember how I said that going by his silhouette, he looks like an alien, and we could already see the giant snake in the background, but I wasn't too sure what they were going for. But now I'm seeing it. This man is literally part snake himself. He's got the snakes coming out of his arms all together. You see a scene with Iori, and there's literally a giant snake coming out of the background. He may be at least 10 feet tall. He's about the same size as that berserker. So it's fair to say that there's going to be some type of involvement where maybe he's terrorizing the town in the same notion of what happens in the Shimosa chapter to sort of highlight that. We already fought against Orochi in general in that chapter. I feel like this is very heavily influenced on that scene. So we very well may be looking at either a descendant of Orochi or possibly possibly even someone who has combined their spirits to bring about the abilities of Orochi. We're still trying to learn more about it. I did see some of the snake heads start to appear on the boat, more so off to the side, so there's gonna be a fight there including them. This looks wild, man. And I also noticed there's a scene with Iori where he does this synchronization with Ku, but instead of it looking like Ku is fighting alongside him, it looks like Ku is more so reinforcing his ability, like he's off to the side of Iori, almost like he's a stand or some type of phantom, giving him more power. I thought that was really interesting. Once again, you got the scene with the dark skinned spirit with the green hair. It never dawned on me how long this dude's hair is. Like, this man's hair is literally dragging on the ground like a carpet if you see him in the scene, and you can actually see that he performs one of his moves, and then in another scene you see the master of Musashi kind of coming to his side. So it appears as if he may have done some type of sacrifice in somebody else's stead, or maybe he overloaded himself. Right now I'm recording this early, so there's really no context, but I really wonder what happened right there. The Saber Rogue servant is one that may look a little familiar to you, and the first time that I saw this, I already knew that I had to bring it up. This servant has this all white design, they have the mask on, and they have the sword to their side, and I was like, this servant looks a lot like Tomoe. And lo and behold, a lot of other people are saying the same thing. Who's wearing this design? Who's wearing these types of masks? Is it a Minamoto? Is it another one of the Takeda in disguise? What's going on there? But I couldn't help but notice the Tomoe reference. I wouldn't say that it's copy and paste, but they look very similar. There's a scene where this saber is actually riding on their horse, and you can see that the rogue saber kind of has like this burning flame surrounding his sword, and more so driving in on their horse like they're doing a joust. It's crazy. I did go back and do some quick Googles, and on further investigation you can see the symbol on Saber's arm, and I found that this is the same symbol for the Ashikaga clan, who is in fact descended from the Minamoto clan. So somehow I was right on the money with that. The Ashikaga stem from the 13 to the 1600s. Unless they stole the armor, it's somebody from that pocket. I did have Tomoe's husband, Yoshinaka, pass my mind at first, but at the same time, I feel like it being him would be something that's too obvious. Not only that, but knowing about the crest now and this conflicting imagery with the helmet, I doubt it, but I'm not gonna take it off the table yet. So I'm betting on either Ashikaga Takauji. He was one of the ones that came up the most. He was the first shogun under their rule, and then their last shogun, Ashikaga Yoshiaki, but I'm more so leaning towards the first. But yeah, their whole outfit, that design is fire. That wing guard is so fresh to me. These servants are coming in with that heat, man. Another scene that really caught me off guard is the scene with Iori, and you can see that this man is actually going head up with the servant. I'm like, say what? Is that how you feeling? This man was going head up with Ryder. Now I know I've seen a ton of people, myself included, saying, whoa, this man Ryder looks like a beast. Look at this armor. He looks like a tank. And then you see Iori in the trailer straight up dashing in against this man like he's sparring. Nah, brother, you're just here for practice. So I'm really messing with Iori, man. This dude's got guts. It's clear to be seen that he could care less who he's going against. He's trying to make it happen, and we support that 100%. And it's not even just that. There's a scene where he's getting attacked by Musashi at point blank. He can't even see her, and he's still dodging it. This is that goon energy. As far as the rogue, caster, and the assassin goes, you can already tell just by looking at the silhouettes that this is Cersei and old man Li Chulainn. Just by looking at it, they have the exact same models as they do in FGO. I would be really surprised if this wasn't them. My boy Lee about to pull up and break some people in half. Hopefully Cersei has a good portrayal as well, something even greater than what she had in Salem. She definitely deserves it. There's a point where you can see what appears to be a different mode, and that looks really good. I'm glad that they incorporated that. Make it more complex. That's always fun, and give you something to do in the meantime instead of just, hacking away. It gives you a lot more leg room for optimization, so you don't just have to play in one straight line. That's fire. So it's time to address the elephant in the room. Maybe not an actual elephant, but there is a giant leg of a familiar spirit that shows up in the middle of the trailer. And I'm seeing a lot of people say that this is in fact Gilgamesh. So that ritual that we were seeing in the other trailer is starting to make a lot more sense now. This may be the very reason why Gilgamesh was summoned. And you can see his entire hoof is nearly about to drop down and smash everything that's under it. And that comes around the same time that you see Iori's servant perform their phantasm, which looks incredible. The colors start to invert, the whole screen starts to get swallowed, and then in the next scene over, you can see the entire top half of a palace just start to diminish from the top down. And not only is Gilgamesh said to be there, but at the end of the trailer, we hear the VA for Gilgamesh, but they never show him on screen. So there's a lot of speculation that he's gonna be a part of this as well. If Gilgamesh is there, it makes sense for Gil and Kidu or even Ishtar to be present as well. I was actually joking around and said, wouldn't it be hilarious if that wasn't Gil and that was just his VA playing as somebody else entirely? I would love that so much, because as we know, Gil has a lot of showcases anyway, and a lot of people are complaining, oh, Gil pops up too much. And while that might be true, he is in everything, I feel like the effectiveness of that curveball would really throw people off in a good way. It really would be just like King Hassan being Kirei. But with the threat on the level of Gilgamesh, just like he resummoned back in Babylonia, it kind of makes a lot of sense for him to be there considering the type of spirit he is. But I win either way because my boy is present. No matter what form he comes in, all Gil is good Gil, okay? I gotta admit, it's hilarious to see this Tamamo with this sword, considering that the sword is literally bigger than her. Like, imagine her fighting with this. She also looks like she's drunk in the face, but that's probably just her model. Maybe she took a couple of shots before they ran the set. Who knows? Tamamo does like to drink, and it appears to me that she took a sip of that feel good. I did notice one scene where they had this sort of purple muck covering these arms and trying to go out and grab Iori and their servant. We've yet to see anybody with arms per se of this length except that new assassin that was revealed. So I really want to know what happened right there. Did he do something to heighten his power? By the way, you may have missed it, but they did confirm that petting the animals will bring back your health, which is very important. Always treat the doggos with care, because if we don't, who will? All right, take care of the animals, take care of the doggos. There's also been some speculations floating around for the original servants. We can go through those. For the archer, I'm seeing Hoyi, who is actually a god of archery himself. There may have been a situation where he was downsized to fit into the war. He's from Chinese mythology. This man has outright shot down 9 sons in his background. He's considered to be the greatest archer of all time, and to tie everything together even more, his wife was actually a moon goddess, and it is a moon war. A lot of this comes from the fact that her master has 3 birds as his command spells, and every time Hoyi shot down one of those sons, they turn into 3-legged ravens. So this could be a direct reference to that, but in a very subtle way. Man, the greatest archer of all time. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. A lot of these archers out here got some competition, and as I mentioned before, that archer's attacks was imbued by flames, so that would make a lot of sense in regards to that sun reference. The big guy with the green hair, I'm seeing this may be Samson, which would be very fitting considering his physique. Samson is one of the greatest warriors from his background. He was one of the people that judged the kingdom of Israel itself, and the embodiment of his power came from him not cutting his hair. That was his thing. And as you can see, that berserker's hair is some of the longest that we've ever seen. The servant that Iori has, a lot of people are saying that it's Yamato Takeru, which has been heavily pronounced by their phantasm. It looks a lot like Yamato's sword, the Kusanagi no Tsurugi, which is a legendary Japanese sword itself. It has a very similar shape shape, and it's known for its great power. The sword came from the fourth tail of Orochi itself, and therefore it boasts a great difference from a lot of run-of-the-mill phantasms that you might see. And judging by that scene where you see that servant activate their phantasm, it's probably right on the mark. The writer is said to be Takeda Shingen. This stems from the fact of the armor. The Takeda were known for wearing the big bulky armor when they went to battle. Usually this came in the form of red, but we can never be too sure considering that we don't know the exact goals of these servants. As for Shingen himself, he was actually a warlord of his era, and he's also one of the greatest military leaders from Japan. If that is him, this makes Iori fighting against him even more impressive. And then for the snake body assassin, this could possibly be Koga Saburo, who is a warrior from Japanese folklore. In his legend, he actually got trapped in a cave by one of his own brothers out of pure jealousy, and since he had no way out, there was nothing else for him to do but continue into the cave. And as he went further and further in, he started to transform into the supposed being that you see now, this snake or this dragon entity. It's said that him venturing into the cave actually took him into the underworld, and then he finally made his way back out to the surface, though he eventually regains his human form. That's something that's also very important, considering that as ominous as the snake assassin looks, he doesn't necessarily look like a bad dude. It more so looks like Dorothea is just forcing him to do what he did in the scenes. There's even a quick scene where you see him standing and having a conversation with her, and as far as you can see, beyond the snake idea, he just looks like a regular dude. Him and his wife also become deities by the end of their myth once he returns to being human. So if that's him, I would really love to see them play on that idea as well. There's also the fact that he's wearing all white. Now, he could just be wearing white. It could just be a coincidence, but the color white is a color of purity, so that too could be yet another reference. Really good trailer. Every time I go through it, I find something new. Make sure you guys sub up, and I will be giving you consistent updates as they come through.